Neti is what? Insert a 9 inches long soft smooth thread through one nostril and draw it out through the mouth. Siddhas call it Neti. Neti purifies the skull and enables the eyes to perceive subtle objects. Also, Neti soon removes all diseases of the body above the shoulders. Trataka. Look with the eyes, an object with concentration without winking till tears start flowing. This is termed as Trataka by the Acharyas. All diseases of the eyes are removed by performing Trataka. It also gets rid of the sloth. It should be carefully preserved like a golden casket. What is Nauli? With the shoulders bent down, rotate the stomach right and left with the speed of a moving eddy. This is called Nauli by the Siddhas. Nauli is called the crown of Hatha Yoga practice. It stimulates the gastric fire if dull or slow, increases the digestive power, produces happiness, and destroys all diseases and disorders of the humors. Kabalpati is what? Exhale and inhale rapidly like the bellows of a blacksmith. This destroys phlegmatic diseases. These 6 exercises completely cure obesity, phlegmatic disorders, etc., and remove impurities of a physical nature. After the 6 kriyas, practice of pranayama comes effortlessly. Some acharyas say that all impurities of the nadis are removed by pranayama alone. The above exercises are not accepted by them. Gajakarni. The eviction of the substances from the stomach when Apana is drawn up at the throat is called Gajakarni. The gradual practice of this act helps control of the nadis. This is known as Gajakarni by those well versed in Hatha Yoga. Even Brahma and other devas regularly do pranayama to get rid of the fear of death. Control of the breath as prescribed is absolutely essential. When prana goes to the sushumna, there is no longer any fear at all. As long as pranayama becomes a habit and the mind becomes calm and peaceful and the eyes are directed between the eyebrows, why should one fear death? By breath restraint is meant that the prana is in the sushumna. A mind firm and steady is a mind calm and steady. The eye directed towards the middle of the eyebrows does not mean the physical eye only, but also the mental eye. When the Nadi chakras has been purified by carefully executed breathing exercises according to the rules, the breath forces open the mouth of the sushumna and easily enters it. At that time, prana will go automatically. The mind becomes peaceful and steady when sushumna is pierced by the breath. This steadiness of the mind is a state called manonmani or unmani. Hatha Yoga Samadhi is called unmani avastha. To attain manonmani avastha, various kumbakas are performed as laid down. By the practice of various kumbakas, one obtains different siddhis. Let us see the different type of kumbakas. There are 8 kumbakas: Surya Beda, Ujjayi, Sitkari, Sitali, Bastrika, Brahmari, Murcha and Plavini. At the end of Puraka, the Jalandhara bandha should be practiced. At the end of Kumbaka, at the beginning of exhalation, Uddiyana bandha should be practiced. Jalandhara bandha will block up the prana at one of the most important acupressure areas where various nerves come from. The lungs and the cardiovascular system are both controlled by Jalandhara at the throat. Moola bandha controls the anal sphincter muscles. Jalandhara bandha is practiced as follows. The throat is contracted and the chin firmly placed on the chest. Contracting the throat, that is Jalandhara bandha, and the anus, that is Moola bandha, at the same time, and by drawing back the abdomen in the Uddiyana bandha, the prana flows through the Brahmanadi, that is sushumna. When both bandhas are applied, the prana flows through the sushumna for those who are purified through diet and all those things we mentioned. Then prana flows through the sushumna naturally. It happens automatically without your having to do anything additional about it. Jiva bandha is the tongue lock. If this lock is not known, the anal and chin locks can be practiced without it. Drawing the apana forcefully upwards, one should bring the prana downwards from the throat. Then the yogi is freed from old age and becomes a youth of 16. This is apana, that is downward moving prana. Here, its impulse is pulled upward. To get a clear picture of apana, suppose you are driving along a highway and you want to go to the bathroom. Your bladder is near to bursting. What do? You hold it until you find a toilet, and at that time your bladder is relieved. This control is Moola bandha. In ancient times, advanced yogis practiced this through Vajroli mudra. I'm not suggesting you to do that. They drew up water through the urethra into the bladder with a catheter. It is just like Nauli. This is called drawing back by the pull of the apana. At first, they practiced this with water, and then gradually they advanced to the use of milk and honey. Eventually, they practiced this in the man-woman union. They could stop the outward flow of the seminal fluid and pull it backwards. Thus, the apana for discharging the energy was stopped so that there was no feeling of ejaculation or depression after the sexual act. This tells us that if you know how to control the apana, you will automatically have natural control of moving the sexual energy upwards. This is not part of our practice, but you should have an idea about it. Those who have difficulties with sexual control can practice Vajroli mudra. This mudra also happens automatically as you contract the anal sphincter muscle in the practice of Moola bandha, and also in another mudra called Ashwini mudra, where you sit in water and contract and release the anal sphincter muscles. This practice will help people who have a lack of control, such as premature ejaculation or other problems related to the sexual organs. They should of course practice this along with the regular practice of pranayama, bandhas and mudras. Then it will become a natural habit for them to draw the apana upwards automatically without any effort. It's a long practice, but like basti, in time you get full control so that the impulse is withdrawn backwards. Then the apana will not come outwards in the form of sexual ejaculation. Apana is used in all sexual acts, in excretion, and also during childbirth. It is apana which is the impulse pushing out the baby. Childbirth is painful because the impulses are coming in an extremely powerful way. A tremendous amount of energy is needed to get the baby out of the mother's womb. Uddiyana bandha happens naturally when you exhale. In time, with practice, all three bandhas happen automatically. Coming to Surya veda, sitting in a comfortable position and taking up an easy asana, the student should draw the breath through the right pingala nadi. Then, Kumbaka is practiced till prana is felt pervading the entire body head to toe. At the end of Kumbaka, exhale through the left nostril slowly. This Surya Veda Kumbaka should be repeatedly done as it purifies the brain, destroys diseases, which arise from the excess of wind, that is vata, and cause illnesses caused by intestinal worms.